Okay, welcome back everyone. Happy Wednesday. So today our workout, similar to the last one we did, we're gonna do the EMOM style. So every minute on the minute, we're gonna be doing a different movement. We'll rotate through about 7 different movements. We'll do that 3 times. So it'll take about, we're gonna do a rest minute and a half after every set. So it'll take around 23 to 25 minutes, somewhere around there, depending on how long we rest. And then, but first we'll do a warm up and then we'll do a cool down after the workout. After the workout, I'm gonna go for probably a 3 to 4 mile walk. I encourage you to do the same. It's a really good way to cool down. It's really nice out today, especially if you're here in beautiful Encinitas, North County, San Diego. So that being said, let's get into it. Our first movement, materials, what we need. For this workout, you're gonna need a chair. I have a chair right here, and because it's one of my office chairs, I cover it with a mat to keep it safe, so we don't make the boss mad. If you have a couple weights, it's a good idea to grab those if you want to make some of the movements a little bit more challenging. If you don't have any weights, just grab a bottle of water, grab a backpack with some books in it, grab something that you can hold in your hands that you can easily move around, but that adds load to the movement. So for some of the movements, you'll kind of figure out what that is as we go along. One of the reasons we do them 3 times each through. So as we do the movements, I'll describe what we're doing. I'll describe where you should be feeling it. And let's get into it. So first thing here, we just want to work on some bird dogs. Some cat cows. So just getting the back nice and grooved, ready for the workout. So you'll dip all the way down with the low back as you look up, and then you'll dip all the way the other way, so all the way up. So we'll go all the way down, and then all the way up. Let's crank out about 10 of these. Again, you don't have to go all the way to the end range with this, so don't try and push those end ranges because you don't want to irritate any of the joints, but just kind of feel a good stretch through the low back as you do it. And now that we're here, let's just do some marching. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to press the left hand into the ground and push away. Right hand into the ground, push away. You should be feeling this lighten up the core a little bit. If you're not, you might be opening up the chest and the hips, so you don't want to be doing this. You don't want to be turning too much as you do it, so just make sure you're pushing the ground straight away from you. It's like, again, like your Iron Man, you have that light that comes out of your chest. That light, you want to go right through the floor. If you have a belt buckle on, not sure why you're working out with a belt buckle on, but just in case you are, you want that belt buckle staying facing the floor. And this gets the core nice and warm. We're going to be doing a lot of core. So in each movement we have, we're going to alternate it with a core movement. So we'll do a movement like, for example, a split squat, and then we'll go into another movement that's a core-based movement, so abdominal-based workout. Okay, and now we're going to go to leg swing. So find a little bit of space on the wall, or if you feel like your balance is feeling pretty good today, you can do this without the wall. And just go back and forth with about 10 times on each leg. I like alternating movements. Oh, one quick thing as we go. If this cuts out like it did the other day, if the feed cuts out, just wait about a minute. I'll be right back on. Just my Wi-Fi's been a little bit iffy lately, so. Okay, good. Switch legs. Okay, and this time we'll face the wall. Let's go sideways leg swings. We'll do about 10 on each side. Okay, good. And now let's get the shoulders warmed up. So for warming up the shoulders, we're going to do what are called the dish rack shoulders. So I learned this at the gym that I go to in Solana Beach called Stratum Fitness. great gym, check it out when this is all over. We're just gonna turn all the way forward with one arm and all the way back with the other as far as you can. So all the way forward, all the way back, all the way forward, all the way back. And this is a really good way to get the shoulder joint warmed up, get it moving, because we're gonna be using our shoulders a little bit through this workout. Okay, good. Now, from here, find some space on the wall and let's just do some rotations on the wall. So again, if my right shoulder is doing the rotation, my right foot is forward. And I'm just kind of rotating about 5 going backward, 5 going forward. Good, and now we'll go forward. Okay, good. Switch sides. So again, I'm going to do my left shoulder, which means my left foot is forward. And we'll start going forward here. Okay. Now we're just going to do some rotations through the mid-back. So standing and really emphasizing working, mainly think turning the chest and the shoulders, don't think turning the whole pelvis. So we just want to do chest and shoulders, trying to keep the low back where it is in place. Now as you do this, you might feel one side that's a little bit looser than the other. That's kind of a cue. Might not even be painful on the other side, just might feel a little tighter. But kind of work into that direction, not necessarily now, but just kind of take note of it to work on a little bit later so it doesn't become a problem. Okay, we got all those warmed up. Now, let's go back to the wall. We're going to do a 30-second wall hold here. So you'll be on the wall, feet will be here. Ideally, the thighs are parallel to the floor. If you want to rest the hands here, you can if you need to. If not, just at the sides is fine, and we'll just hold here for 30 seconds. Good, just about 15 more seconds. Make sure you have a water bottle ready for when we rest in between sets. That's a good time to get some fluids in, get the energy back, and good. All right, quads should feel like they're working a little bit now. And then we're gonna move into, after that, I just want you to do 5 squats. Now your first few squats, they don't have to be too low, but as you go, I want you to try and work in to a little bit deeper range of motion as you go. Again, trying to keep the knees so that they don't cave in when you're doing it. So, the squat is here, knees are staying in line with the toes, my weight's shifting back to my heels. I'm using the glutes to pull myself up. I'm also bracing through the core. So I'm keeping the core nice and tight as I go. Good. Now after those 5 squats, we're just gonna do 5 really slow, nice and controlled lunges on each side. How's everyone's Wednesday? Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. Anyone else losing track of the days of the week? This could be a Saturday, I won't even know it. Okay, good. On that last lunge, you're just going to work into a push-up plank here. So all you're going to do is get into the push-up position. When you go into a plank with a push-up, try and keep the butt nice and low. We're just going to hang out here just about 20 seconds to keep the abs nice and warm. We'll do a similar, we're gonna do some push-up variation today in the workout as one of our moves, and we're gonna do a plank variation as well. So this will help get that nice and warm. And good, rest right there. Okay, and then finally, we're gonna do just a little exercise to stretch bottom of the foot. I'm actually gonna lose my shoes for this one. I'll probably lose my shoes for the rest of the workout. And so for this, I want you to put the foot back with the toe on the ground. So you're bending at the toe. That knee goes on the ground. The other leg goes forward. And then you're just gonna sit back into the toe and then kind of push off with that toe to extend the hip. Now, as you extend the hip forward, I want you to give the glute a squeeze at the top. So good, this motion right here with the toe is called extension. This hip, when it opens up, that's called extension. The better you're able to extend your toe, the better your hip fires into extension. Really good for runners to do. Or even walkers as well. So really good one to do. And then you'll switch sides after about 6 to 8 on each side. And again, just sitting back into it and then going forward. Sitting back into it and then going forward. Now, we normally do these workouts every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 o'clock. Today we're doing it at 11:30. If you find this is a better time, or if there's another time that works for you, let me know. I'm pretty flexible. That being said, the workout's recorded. It's available on this page afterwards, or on my YouTube page as well. Okay, everyone nice and warm, so go ahead and grab sip of water. We'll come back in about 30 seconds and then we'll get into the workout. Okay, so I'm going to preview some of the movements that we're going to be doing. Our first one that we'll start off with is going to be our chair dip. So you'll get your chair ready. Hands are going to go in the back of the chair. Now this one I really recommend doing with the legs, feet flat on the ground. You can do them out here, a little bit tougher, but we want to sustain this movement for 40 seconds. So find a position that you can do for 40 seconds. And then you're just dipping, butts touching the ground, and then coming back. Butts touching the ground, and then coming back. So that'll be our first movement. After that, we're gonna go right into our split squats. So we'll have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back on the chair, and then we're just lowering down, and then coming back. Lowering down, coming back. We're gonna try for 8 on each side, 8 on each side. That's another one, if you have any weight, you can hold right in front of you. I'll probably be holding a kettlebell as I do them, so feel free to hold some weight. If not, no big deal. After those, we're gonna do some ab circles. So we're gonna have a couple variations here just in case one doesn't feel quite right or might be a little too much at the moment, but these are gonna be here, hands at the side. Oh yeah, these are tough. And you're just gonna be turning the legs 7 times to the right, and then you'll switch 7 times to the left. So those are tough. A variation to that, if you just want to do a straight hold right there, that's fine too. Another variation is you can do a hold with the knees bent and just go side to side. So find what you can sustain for those reps. That'll take about 30 to 35 seconds. From there, we're going to move to our mountain climbers. So this will be our 4th move. We'll be on our elbows. You can do them in the push-up position. I find it a little bit more accessible in the elbows. And we're going knee to the opposite elbow. Knee to the opposite elbow. Now on these, You want to keep your butt low enough so that you feel the core engage. If the butt's too high, you're not going to get the benefit of it. And it's not great for your low back. From the mountain climbers, we're going to go into our walking push-up. So what that looks like, you're going to start in the push-up position. Again, you can do these on your knees if you need to as well. And you're going to walk 3 steps to the left, push up, back to center, 3 steps to the right, and push up. What I like about that one is it varies your push-up, so your hands aren't in the same position the whole time, so you're not putting stress through the shoulder and the chest in the same way with each push-up. So it's good to vary the stress going through the body. From there, you're going to go back to the elbows to the plank, and you're going to do toe lifts. So you'll do 20 on each side, and you just go straight up. Again, keeping the butt nice and low. This one, just like we practiced in the beginning, you don't want to open up the hips too much. So you don't want to do this and open the hips. This is, again, you're wearing that belt buckle, and the belt buckle is pointing right to the floor. Okay, and then finally, after the toe lift, we're going to come to the feet. We're going to do our imaginary jump rope. If you have a jump rope, perfect. If not, not required for this. So you're just going to come here. You're going to do your jump rope. We'll do that for about 40 seconds. Okay, so let's get into it. I'll have the timer here. Again, each of those is going to be a minute. Any time left you have after the movements is yours to rest until the next one. So again, starting with those chair dips. Everyone getting ready, and we'll start on the chair here. For this one, again, find a movement you can do sustained for 40 seconds. And we're moving. So again, we're going to be here for 40 seconds. You'll notice some of the movements we're doing for time. Some of the movements are for rep count. And I'll definitely remind you of those as we go. So this one, you're just barely touching the butt onto the ground. Just barely tapping to the ground. If that bothers the shoulder, you don't have to go as low. Just another 5 seconds. And rest. Okay, next, we're going to go into our split squat. I'm going to grab some weight as I do it. I'm going to hold it right here. If you have bottle of water, a gallon, anything like that, feel free to use it. We'll go left foot forward first. We're going to do 8 reps on the left and then 8 reps on the right. And we're going. With this one, try not to let the knee travel in front of the toe. Pushing the weight through the heel as you come up. And then switching sides. Whew. Good, and rest. About 20 seconds of rest here. And then we're moving right into our seated leg circles. So these, again, we're going to do 10 going right, 10 going left. Hands are up to the side, legs are in front, circling back and forth. And go. Good, and switch directions. Woo! All right, and rest. Again, if those are too much, you can do them with the knees bent and just go side to side, or you can do a straight up hold for 40 seconds. Again, find what works for you. We're resting for another 15 or so. And then we're going right into our mountain climbers. So So we're gonna do the mountain climbers on the elbows. If you need to, you can do them in the push-up position as well. Again, just whatever works for you, whatever you can sustain. And we're going. So we're doing these for 40 seconds. Remember, keeping the butt down as you go. Good, just about 15 more seconds. And rest. Nice work. So after our mountain climbers, we're going to go into our walking push-ups. So we'll do 3 steps left, back to center, 3 steps right. Push-ups in between. And we're starting now. And go. So again, 3 steps to the left, back to center, and then 3 steps to the right. We're doing this for 40 seconds. And rest. Whew, those are tough. Okay, after our walking push-ups, we're going with our plank to the toe lift. So again, that's in that plank position, and we're just lifting the toe off the ground. We're doing 20 on each side. And go. So these are pretty quick. Make sure you're keeping the butt nice and low. And you're not opening up the hips. And rest. So we have about 30 seconds of rest here. And then we're going right into our jump rope. So again, the jump rope, if you have one, awesome. If not, I don't have one, no big deal. It's the motion and the speed that we're looking for. About 15 more seconds. And starting in 3, 2, 1. Good. And we're here for 40 seconds. On the last 10, we're going to increase the pace. So for the last 10, you're going to do it as fast as you can. Right here, I want you at just a nice pace. Something you can sustain for the next 30 seconds, well, 15 seconds here, and then kick it into overdrive for the last 10. And we're going fast as you can now. Good, 3, 2, 1, rest, nice. Okay. Grab some water, take a rest. We're going to take about another minute and 10 seconds here, and then we're going to do that again. If there were any movements you needed to modify, feel free to do that in order to sustain. If you want to add some weight, if you want to challenge it a little more, I definitely encourage that for this next time around, but kind of play with those movements. Grab some water, we'll be back in about a minute. Okay, we'll get back into it in just about 20 seconds here or so. So again, we're starting with the chair dips, and then we're going right into that split squat. So have your weight ready if you're doing the split squat, just so you can move right into it. Chair dips we're doing for 40 seconds. The split squats we're doing 8 on each leg. If you can get 10 on each leg, awesome. If you're doing a little more weight, 8's probably a good number for you to be at. And going into the dips right about now. Go ahead. So again, we're here for 40 seconds. The butt is just touching the ground. Unless that's too much for your shoulders, perfectly fine, just don't go quite as far down. Good, got about 15 more seconds. Good, 5 more. And rest. Nice, so we'll take 20 seconds of rest, and then we'll go right into our split squats. Good, about 10 more. And we're going. So again, 8 to 10 on each side. If you're using a little more weight, maybe it's a little lower number, closer to that 8. If you're not using any weight, try and go for 10. Whoop. Keeping the core nice and tight. I have to remind myself. And good. So about 15 more seconds of rest. We're going right into our seated leg circles. Again, find the variation that works for you. If it's here, we'll twist to the side. If it's a hold, find what works for you. And we're going. So you're doing 10 to the right and 10 to the left. And 10 to the left. Nice. Ooh, those are hard. All right. After I see the leg circles, we're going right into our mountain climbers. So again, it's mountain climbers on the elbows. When you're doing these, really think like you're bringing the leg all the way to the side. It's not necessarily just forward to the side. That also helps remind you to keep the butt nice and low. So you should feel those in the obliques. We're going in 3, 2, and go. So again, we're here. It's about 40 seconds. Should be feeling them. Get a nice little twist. Feeling it in the obliques. I've never climbed a mountain before, but I'm guessing it feels something like this. Good, just about 5 more seconds. And rest. Woo. Nice work. And then we're going into our walking push-ups. So again, we'll go 3 to the right push-up, back to, or 3 to the left push-up, back to the right push-up, and then we'll go from there. About 5 more seconds here. And go. We're here for 40 seconds. Again, if you need to do them on your elbows, by all means, or I'm sorry, on your knees. Good, just about 15 more seconds. push-ups. We're going right to our plank with the toe lift. And we're going in 3, 2, 1. Nice. We're here for 20 times on each side. It'll take about 40 seconds. And again, keeping that belt buckle nice and level. Now, if you can, try and pull your body a little bit over the elbows. So think like the chest is just a little bit in front of the elbows. Makes that toe walk a little bit more difficult. And rest. Woo! Nice. Nice work. About 20 more seconds. We're going right to our jump rope. We're working some breathing after the workout, but make sure you're breathing between these because these get pretty tough. Going in 3, 2, and go. Jumping rope. So again, this is a pace we're able to maintain for 30 seconds. It should be challenging. And then the last 10, we're gonna pick it up. And picking up the pace, fast as you can, go. Rest. Nice work. One more set left. These are pretty good. So take about a minute and 10 seconds, grab some water, and then we'll come right back into it. And again, with a lot of these movements, try and vary your position, but still maintaining good form. And good form meaning a nice tall spine. Chest is tall, most of them, especially for the push-ups, and keeping the butt nice and low. With all that, if you want to put the toes a little bit wider apart, challenge yourself a little bit on the plank with the toe tap. If you want to walk with the hands on the push-ups and keep them a little closer together with the push-up, that'll challenge you a little bit more. But again, just work into something that's challenging, but sustainable. So if 0 is at rest and going all out is 10, I want you to be somewhere like a 6 to a 7 with each of these movements. So pretty intense. Okay, we'll get going here. Just a few seconds. Remember, we're starting back on our dips. So that's where we're heading to. And then we'll go into our split squats. We'll do this whole set for one more time. And then we'll do a cool down. Whenever you're ready, and for the dips, we'll start now. Press that guy. So again, we have 40 seconds here. And just like I was saying, we're trying to keep the chest nice and tall. When you're doing these, don't fold forward. So again, we're just keeping the chest nice and tall. Good, 10 more seconds. And rest. Woo! And then we're going back into our split squats. So again, 8 to 10 of these. If you're using a little bit of weight, you'll probably be closer to that 8 number. If you're not using any weight, closer to the 10. That's on each side. And we're going. On these, keep the core really engaged. It helps tremendously with your balance. Very nice. Okay, nice work. Resting, and then we're going back to our seated leg circles. Have about 8 more seconds. Remember, we're going 10 to the right, 10 to the left. Vary it if you need to. Keep the knees bent, keep them more straight, and we're moving. 10 on each side. Oh man, whew, those are tough. Gonna take about 20 or so seconds. We'll move into the next movement. Again, that's that mountain climber. We're gonna do it for 40 seconds. Really make sure you're twisting as you go. So you're getting a nice, it's not just the leg coming forward, you're also getting a twist with it. Add a challenge because you're on your elbows. If you need to do it on your knees, by all means, feel free. We're going in 2, 1, and let's do it, 40 seconds. Good, just about 10 more seconds. And rest. As you'll notice, as I fatigue, I started to bring the butt a little bit higher. Try not to do that if you really need to. It's our last set, so fatigue's normal at this point. And then we're going right into our walking push-up. So again, we're walking left push-up, walking right push-up. And into that in 3, 2, and go. We're here for 40 seconds. Good, 10 more. Doing good. Keep it up. 5 more. And rest, nice. Man, those are good. Okay, now we're going in 10 seconds back to the plank with the toe lift. You want a little more of a challenge? Bring the toes a little farther apart as you lift. And go. Remember, we're keeping that butt buckle nice and square to the ground. You're doing 20 on each side, ends up being about 40 seconds. Five more seconds. Oh, nice. Very nice. 20 seconds, we're gonna go into our jump rope. It's our last movement, and then we're going right into our cool down. So you have about 10 more seconds left. And again, 40 seconds of jumping rope, and then we'll get into it. And go. Again, something you can sustain for 40 seconds. Last 10 seconds, we're good with the pace. And 10 seconds, go. Fast as you can. Good, 4, 3, 2, That's it. That's a wrap. All right. Nice work, everyone, especially if you were with us the whole time. Great work. Let's move into the cool down. First, grab some water, and then we'll start working our way into that. Okay, great work, everyone. First move, we're just gonna do some breathing. We're gonna kind of tone everything down here. So you'll grab that chair. Oops. So again, you grab the chair. You're gonna get pretty close to it. And then you're just gonna rest the feet on the chair. And then you're laying down, hands to the side. And we're just gonna go some deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're just toning everything down. Just toning everything down. Let's go hands facing, pointing toward the ceiling, kind of like we're reaching. Now as you breathe in, you'll inflate the stomach, push the back into the ground. When you breathe out, you'll reach toward the ceiling as you breathe out. Good, give me 2 more breaths just like that. All right, now from here, we're just gonna lift the feet off the chair. Just gonna let them float in front of us. And we're gonna do 2 breaths. And then we're gonna reach toward the ceiling. And again. Okay, good. Now push the chair away and just let the feet go right in front of you. Now we're just going to do a very light glute bridge all the way up and hold. Now this shouldn't be a glute bridge that's really fatiguing. Think more of a cool down glute bridge. So think of it, we're just opening up the hips and just letting them kind of hang out up there. And then we're back down. We're rolling up into that. And back down. And back down. Do 1 more. Okay, good. Now this time, we're going to be on our stomachs. Hands out to the side, just like this. Right leg is going to kick up and go all the way over. I want you to feel the chest on this side opening up. If you don't feel that, make sure the hand is positioned probably just a little bit above the shoulder for the top part of the chest, and then for the lower part we'll go a little bit below the shoulder. Most of us, because our chest is more tight through the top, will feel it a little bit more with the shoulder higher, or with the arm higher. We'll do 5 that side, now we'll go the other way. Okay, good. Next, we'll push right into the cobra here, so all the way up. We'll just do some breathing. It doesn't, now with this one, you don't have to push all the way to that end range. If you want to stop a little bit before, just hang out here with the arms extended, perfectly fine. Just do about 5 deep breaths here. Good, then slowly work our way out of this. And then we'll go into the all fours position and we'll drop onto the toes. And then we'll bring the butt up and we're just gonna press the heels down into the ground. We're just gonna let the calf stretch a little bit. And again, if you want to bend the knee, you're gonna work one calf at a time. That's A-okay. Good, and then back to all fours. Now, if you have a foam roller here, that's great. If not, no big deal. You can do this without the foam roller. But you're just gonna let the arms extend in front of you and just kind of let the chest drop down toward the floor. You should feel this mainly in the mid-back. Just holding for about 2 seconds and then coming out of it. 2 seconds and then coming out of it. Seconds and then coming out. Okay, nice work. So if there were any areas that you found in the warm-up, in the workout, or the cool-down that felt a little tight, definitely go back and work some of those. If you need stretches for those, feel free to email me, comment below, and we'll get you some of those stretches. But in the meantime, try and go for a nice cool-down walk. One thing I'd like you to try and do today is try and walk around outside, somewhere soft, likely grass would be really good to do it, or if you have kind of a flatter mud patch or anything like that, without your shoes and without your socks, and start getting the sensory receptors on the bottom of your feet to be a little more stimulated. So if you think about it, this whole time we've been in quarantine, we've been walking around pretty much the same exact areas, which doesn't exactly stimulate the foot in the same way as if we're varying the surfaces, which we normally do throughout our day. We usually don't do it without shoes and socks. Now that is a great way to get all those sensory receptors and all those proprioceptors in the foot and the ankle firing. This is great because it helps to stabilize the low back. What that does is it gives feedback about where the leg is in space, and the low back can make adjustments based on where the leg is, based on the feedback it's getting from those receptors. So go outside and walk around without the shoes and socks on, and just get those sensory receptors nice and kind of stimulated. So we will be back here on Friday at 10 a.m. Sorry for the late start this time. If you want a different time, if we get enough people that want a different time other than 10 a.m., we'll definitely, we can adapt to that. So, but other than that, we'll see you Friday, 10 a.m. Have a good day. Again, go walk around without your shoes and socks. All right, take care.